Welcome back to the Fantasy Flavor Podcast, where we spicing up your daily dose of fantasy football content. Hey, what's going on, viewers and listeners of the Fantasy Flavor Podcast? My name is Dylan Thomas, and I'm joined with...
Hey, this is Sanatan. How are you guys?
Personally, I'm good. I hope the viewers are good too, staying safe, keeping your social distance because of the coronavirus. Very serious times here, but we're hoping to lighten up your day here with a 2020 Dynasty startup mock draft here on Fantasy Pros. Are you excited to be doing this?
Very excited, and I don't think we have done a mock draft for startup before, and also it will be fun because we'll be picking from the same spot, so we might agree and disagree. Maybe it will. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it should bring up some good conversation here. So we're just gonna start it off here. We randomized and we got the A spot. So we're gonna hit not now for that. And then we're gonna start here. So one thing before we go with this first pick here, just remember the rookie ADP is very off right now. So we're gonna try to honor the rookie ADP, just kind of like where we think the rookies would go. So we're not gonna take Jonathan Taylor in like the 10th round. We're really gonna try to
Yeah,
respect it, you know. So we're gonna start off here. We're on the clock. The first few picks here were Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Dalvin Cook, and then Alvin Kamara. So we're here at the 108. Who are you thinking about taking?
oh, there are a few options like Zeke, Chubb, maybe even Adams or Godwin. Um, I don't know. I'm a bit scared of Zeke.
Yeah, me too. These older man, Zeke. I feel like Zeke could be the exception though.
Yeah, but Zeke at 108 it should be a very good pick. But again, I'm a bit scared of Zeke, but I'm not very excited about Chubb either.
How about Joe
What do you think
Mixon?
about Mixon? Exactly, I was
Yeah,
going to ask.
I was gonna say Mixon's kind of my surprise pick here. I feel like Mixon's a bit younger, less mileage
Uh-huh.
than Zeke. I feel like he has more upside in the receiving game. He was very. We saw his floor, in my opinion, last season.
Agreed.
So I feel like it could only go up from there. Meanwhile, I could Zeke actually be going down. Keep in mind, Travis Frederick retired. They passed a lot more than they usually do. I'm just kind of scared. I feel like Zeke could just, he has such a long contract, which is good, but at the same time, nobody cares. Like, we just saw
Yeah,
Gurley cut for like so much dead money. So these
we
contracts don't
cannot
mean
we
much to me.
yeah nowadays we cannot you just think of long contract and be happy about it. Anything can happen anytime. With running backs, they drop off very very sharply, and if you have to have a running back, then probably Mixon, who has great talent. And the only problem is Bengals. We have this recent news that maybe they might trade the pick to Dolphins. What do you think about that? If they don't have Burrow, are you still excited about Mixon?
Burrow definitely did like his running back the most, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Exactly.
Najee Harris was targeted a lot for Tua.
Mm.
Herbert liked his running back too, but I think it is kind of a big deal there if we're talking especially first year value, because Tua might not even be healthy, and Herbert's obviously a step down as a prospect. But I still think Mixon's the pick here because I don't see them
Yeah, I
trading that
agree.
pick. So are you okay with Mixon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, that's boring. We agreed with the first pick, but it's kind of surprising. We kind of think alike. We have to admit here. So
I'm a fan of Mixon, so
definitely on the clock here. Keep in mind this is a one quarterback league here, so we still have all the quarterbacks available. We're not taking them here, but looking here at the board, we have Miles Sanders, we have Leonard Fournette, OBJ, Galladay, AJ Brown, Cortland Sutton. Still have
yeah.
all the
So
quarterbacks. We all have tight ends. What are
yeah,
you thinking?
I think the wide receivers that I see right now, they are pretty much in the same tier. I'm not very excited about someone in this list,
Mm-hmm.
and I think if we can get a similar player in the next round probably. And when I see the running backs, I mean the drop off is just crazy. Um, I think I like Sanders here. What do you think?
Yeah, there's three options here for me. It's Sanders, it's Fournette, or it's Drake. We ha,
Drake over Eckler?
yeah, I'd actually say that too. But how about another name here? We talked about rookies. I feel like Jonathan Taylor, or probably more like DeAndre Swift, could be in this range. Could they be the pick here?
Oh yeah, why not? I mean, the only problem here is that what if Jonathan Taylor goes to the Bills, or say he goes to, I think Lions were looking at running backs. What if he goes there? That's the only problem. But if you tell me that he's going to, say, a Bucks or even Miami is fine too. I don't think Howard is going to threaten any much from him. So I mean that's the only problem. So second round still I would, stay away from the rookies. Maybe in the third, I think is the right place. And I think Sanders has a good chance to be, at least in PPR, to be very good.
Yeah, this
The-
is definitely where we disagree. I think I've both Taylor and Swift currently
Mhm.
higher than Sanders. So obviously the landing spot could definitely drop one or both of them below Sanders, or maybe even catapult them higher. But they're all in the same tier of player. I just kind of wanted to be spicy, take a rookie. Um,
Yeah, go ahead. Because I
mm,
have them in the similar tier. I know that most of the industry has the rookies, at least the Taylor and Swift, ahead of Sanders, and some even have them ahead of Jacobs, which I don't agree. But with Sanders, I have them in the same tier, so I'm fine with taking any one of them. And I see that you took Taylor.
yeah, I decided to take Taylor. He might actually even go earlier than that,
Oh,
um,
definitely,
but definitely looking at the running backs though, like Aaron Jones, I'd take Taylor over Jones, but
definitely
Josh Jacobs and Taylor and Swift and Sanders, I think all four of those guys are super close there. So,
agree.
um,
And what do you think there? Like, would you take Jacobs over Taylor and Swift?
no, Jacobs is a little bit higher just because we know it with him. I'm still kind of terrified of how they're going to use him in the passing
So
game. They seem
that
to not
that
think
was
he
my
can.
question.
Hmm.
My question was, would you take Jacobs over both of them?
No, I mean, that's
Yes, that's
close.
yes,
Yeah.
right? You take Jacobs
Oh,
over
oh,
them,
yes,
right?
yes, 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 yes. Sorry,
Yeah,
I was like, no, no way.
exactly. I was like, your explanation is suggests that you take them over, and me too. I think Jacobs is a great talent and untapped potential about pass catching. He's not
Mhm,
even getting the pass catching role. Imagine when he gets the passes, like he will be amazing.
exactly. So now we're on the clock here. Just kind of
Mm.
scrolling down here so people can see some of the names here. We can see some of the rookies. I feel like Swift would be gone at this point, so I don't want to talk about him, although he's on the
So
board
for our
here.
listeners, do you want to say a few names who have been picked after our pick?
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. So after Taylor was taken, we got Galladay gone, OBJ, Fournette, Sanders, unfortunately, Julio, Kittle, Lamar Jackson, Travis Kelsey, Cortland Sutton, Mahomes, and man, if AJ Brown was here, it would have been a slam dunk. But AJ Brown just got
Agree.
sniped.
So,
It's
but
definitely a
what do you
lot
think
tougher
about?
now.
Here's a question for you. What do you think about Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes at 3.3 and 3.6?
Too early. I still think
I
it's too early.
no, I think that's a great pick. I would, if Mahomes was there, I would have really advocated to take him because you have these great quarterbacks for the next 15 years, man. And it makes a difference even in one quarterback league. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I feel like quarterbacks so deep, and currently I feel like quarterbacks might be at their like some of their lowest. Think about how many quarterbacks we have, like in the NFL. There's people like Cam Newton, who's like a free agent because he can't get a spot. Jameis Winston can't get a starting spot. We have a lot of quarterbacks right now, and not all of them obviously they're not as good as Jackson or Mahomes, but like it's so like deep. I feel like quarterbacks are Ryan Tannehill came out of nowhere and he gave you fantasy one numbers for us. You know what I mean? And you can always draft one of these rookies like Tua Tagovailoa or Joe Burrow in a
I
one
agree.
quarterback league, very like mid second round, maybe even late second round for one of them. So if you think about it like that, it's just
That
kind
is
of
correct.
like I'd rather
And
have those guys. So
I think Burrow and Tua will be very good. So I agree with you there. Okay, let's move on. So
yeah.
AJ Brown just went before our pick, and uh, the list that we are seeing from Fantasy Pros is Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, Mark Andrews, Austin Eckler. What are you thinking?
Drake's still there too. Devin Singletary still there.
This is Dynasty. Do you think Drake is like, yeah, if we go for win now, I think Drake is a great pick.
Yeah.
Um, but we already have two running backs. Are you thinking about a wide receiver just to balance it out?
Yes, I am thinking about a wide receiver. Problem is, I don't know which one. Actually, I have it. I think I know which one. I'm stuck between a few of them, but
Okay. I mean, I would go for uh, Cooper Cup. That's the
I
one I like.
am going for. Uh, we can queue them both up here so we can see them. But I'm going for Calvin Ridley here.
Really, I mean, Calvin Ridley is not
Mm-hmm.
the number one on his team.
Is Cooper Cup really the number one? You can even be like, even though he leads the team in targets, it's so close to Woods. Like, really, are you gonna discount him for having like a 1%, 2%? You know what I mean? Like, I think their target shares are gonna be very similar. And with Austin Hooper gone, Calvin Ridley, I feel like is this year's Chris Godwin. Maybe not wide receiver too, but someone who kind of really steps up there and kind of takes on a lot of vacated targets. I really like Calvin Ridley this year. He's kind of one of my guys.
I do, but the amount of connection between Goff and Cup that I see, and I see the future there. I just don't see that much connection between Ryan and Ridley. I know Ridley is being up a lot. I don't see him as the wide receiver one on my team. I would be happy if he was the wide receiver two.
Yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from. So, I both of them are really close for me there. Cup and Ridley. I have a
Mm.
question for you. No consideration of Keenan Allen or Diggs. Why?
Um, Diggs, I have a simple reason that Diggs is too much of a boom bust type of guy. I just don't like such kind of receivers who are boom bust, because you might win a week and the next week you are not getting anything out of them. And since we have good running back core, we just want someone who is giving us, consistent points every week. And I think the slot role, for example, for Cup, he always gets like 5 6 targets at least, at a minimum every game, around 10 in fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would go for a safer pick. Diggs is just too much of a. I don't think landing spot at the Bills changes anything for me.
So no Keenan Allen, even though he's also a slot wide receiver. Is that because Rivers is out of the
Exactly.
door?
I'm a big fan of Keenan Allen, and I would have advocated for him right here, but it's just the uncertainty with Keenan Allen. Who knows how Tyrod will, even like him, and who the next quarterback will be. Rookies always poses a problem for the wide receivers,
All right,
anyways.
awesome.
So that's why.
I'm still mad about AJ Brown. I feel like I like
I
AJ Brown
agree.
more than a lot of these guys, but we'll go Cooper Cup. I mean, I got the last choice, so I'll give you the benefit there.
Sure.
Gurley going really early there. Gurley going a couple picks after. Allen Robinson was also a guy I didn't mention, but I really like too. For
Yeah,
kind
I
of like
agree. I
all the
like
same reasons,
it
you know
out
what I
too.
mean?
Yes.
He's not a slot guy, but I feel like we should have talked more about Allen Robinson. I was gonna bring
Yeah,
him up,
he's
but he
very
slid.
consistent. He
Very,
is very
very
consistent.
considering he's stuck with like Nick Foles and
I know.
Mitch Trubisky, it's really impressive.
No, I
So
think Foles will improve his, the type of target he gets.
yeah, hopefully. So Todd Gurley
Hopefully.
goes in the third round there. DK Metcalf. I was hoping to get DK in the fourth.
Me too.
Debo kind of goes early. I think 4.7 is early. I've been hearing rumors about them drafting a wide receiver at 13. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I totally get it. I think they need wide receiver help, definitely. Even though Shanahan is great, but they just have Debo and my, last year's love, Dante Pettis on the team, who is not doing anything
Yeah,
apparently.
exactly. And Emmanuel Sanders was there and now is out the door. So
Exactly. So now they need someone, and the free agency has been very disappointment. There are no good wide receivers, so obviously they will have to draft one, and they got a great pick to draft one of the elite wide receivers. And I think Lamb, even Judy fits them perfectly. He's like, yards after catch guy. So I think Judy will be very good there.
yeah, definitely really well said there. I don't think Judy or Lamb would be here around this range though. I feel like they're gonna go a bit
Yeah.
earlier than that. There's potential that a guy like Jalen Rager or Justin Jefferson or whoever you have kind of that 3, 4, 5 spot could be here though. Are those kind of guys you're considering there? Speaking of kind of this rookie talk.
Um, I have also heard that people were mocking Ruggs there because of the field stretching kind of
Mm-hmm.
capability. Because Debo is already taking the underneath role, so probably they could use Ruggs as the field stretcher. But I don't know what they are thinking. I mean, Shanahan usually likes run after the catch guys, and Ruggs doesn't fit that profile. So I don't,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm. I get
I
what
think
you're
Judy
saying.
is the perfect fit. Who knows if he
Mm-hmm.
falls there or not?
Mm-hmm. But back on the topic with like our pick here currently,
Hmm.
I think you were a little confused. I feel like a guy like a Jalen Rager, Justin Jefferson, a T. Higgins, whoever that wide receiver three, or Henry Ruggs even, would be around here available at our fourth round pick here. Would you consider taking like a Jalen Rager here, or do you have your eyes
No,
on somebody
no,
else?
I would not.
No. Okay, who are you thinking about that?
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we already have a proven young wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. We also have Gallup there. We have DJ Chark, who is the number one in his team.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
I like
I'm
Tyler
just
Boyd. I like Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen. Yeah, I mean, if we are going for win now, I really like him. I really like him, and I think would- we can get him in the fifth. Don't you think so? Maybe because of their rankings, the Fantasy Pros rankings is not very updated. That's why Thielen is going in the fourth round. But I think in the actual drafts he'll fall till sixth round. That is what I think
Yeah.
will happen.
Are you thinking about running back here potentially? You have Kenyon Drake still here on the
Yes,
board.
we have Kenyan Drake. I think Drake in the fourth is very good value.
Yeah, especially if they draft somebody. No,
Yeah,
since they haven't drafted anyone yet, I think that's the pick.
yeah, I think so. You are considering him in the second round, man. So imagine in the fourth round if you are getting Kenyan Drake, we should definitely take him.
I can't believe I'm kind of a Drake truther. It's weird. I don't even feel like I am a Drake truther. I don't know. It's kind of
You were
weird.
not, but now you are. It seems.
I, well, it is what it is. So we'll just grab Drake here. I definitely because like wide receivers are still deep here, so I feel like we could still get a quality guy.
Yeah.
And quality, I mean, Jarvis Landry isn't the most quality, but I definitely
But some
better.
of the players
Mhm.
who went after our pick, you want to say,
Yeah,
man.
definitely. Marlon Mack, Adam Thielen, Boyd, Lockett. Start of the fifth, we have Gallup, Woods, Carson, Chris Carson, that is, on Johnson, DJ
Oh.
Chark, Terry McLaurin, and oh, my guy Devin Singletary.
And
Man,
McLaurin also went away. I mean, I wish we could have gotten
I'm
McLaurin.
not on the McLaurin train. I'll be honest with you, but I mean they really wanted Amari Cooper badly. They're gonna about pay him, really overpay him 20 million a year.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely off on him. But let's just focus here.
I
Are
have
we?
a question for you.
I have an answer.
Are you considering quarterback here? I mean, we are thinking that Mahomes and Lamar went in the third, and we are end of the fifth, and we have this year's breakout candidate in Kyler Murray here on the board. We also have Deshaun Watson.
Hmm.
Are you even considering or no?
No, because for me, I'd rather get like a Carson Wentz or a Josh Allen a few rounds later, or even you could get like a Jared Goff, a Daniel Jones, and maybe double
I'm
dip.
not getting Jared Goff. No way.
Listen, Goff. Honestly, he led the league in passing attempts.
No, I
So,
agree. But in quarterback, I want someone who I can have for the next 10 years. I agree with you on the Carson Wentz train. I also like Josh Allen, but no, I'm not taking
give
Goff
me Baker
as my quarterback.
Mayfield. In
Baker
that,
Mayfield is fine.
I'm gonna wait for Baker if you want to take someone early. I mean, I actually kind of don't like the wide receivers we have here, though. To be honest,
Exactly. But
do
what about the
we
tight
grab
ends?
another running back or tight end? Evan Ingram, Zach Ertz, Hunter Henry, Noah Fant, Hawkinson,
I'm not
Waller.
excited.
Running back David Montgomery, Le'Veon Bell, James Conner, Geis.
What do you think of Hunt?
I'd rather go David Montgomery.
That you're
Or
right.
I didn't might even rather go Bell.
No, I would not go Bell over Hunt because Hunt is giving you a flex player for this year. And
Hmm.
next year, who knows? He will be this. If he's the starter of say Kansas City again or some other team, he'll be great, man. And he's
Yeah,
still young.
I know, but what if they just re-sign him or he goes to even a worse situation? There's worse
They
situations out there than the Browns.
they are not going to re-sign him. They have to pay so many people. They are not paying him like 8 million dollars a year and keeping him with Chubb. That's not happening. Next year he's not going to be there on the Browns
I don't
unless they are
think
cut.
Kareem Hunt's making 8 mil. If Melvin Gordon got like 2 for 10, no offense, but Melvin Gordon's done way more in his career than Kareem Hunt has. Kareem Hunt had a great year in Kansas City. Have
Gordon
you
got
seen any
two,
running back in Kansas City?
no, Gordon got 2 years for 16 million, not 10.
Oh, okay. But still, I don't see him making Melvin Gordon-esque money. It's definitely going to be less than that.
I don't think so. He's younger and he has looked much better than Gordon.
I,
I don't know.
I'd rather
Again,
chase the
running.
volume, and I hate Montgomery. But like, he
No, I
got
agree with you. Montgomery is a good pick here and better than Hunt, but I would not take Bell or Connor if you're saying that.
okay.
I
Jarvis
disagree.
Landry isn't even Jarvis Landry, Parker Kirk. No, just we should go Montgomery. You think?
I like Landry, but I think his value is going to go down because of all the injuries that has happened to him, and people are
Yeah,
generally down on. I mean, even though he had a great year last year,
yeah, he's
but
better than OBJ or like really close to it. I can't remember exactly.
he was better. He was much better. I think OBJ was somewhere around wide receiver 25, and he
That's
was somewhere
ridiculous.
around wide receiver 15.
Can you believe OBJ was wide receiver 25? That's crazy. Baker really killed his value.
I know. I mean, I'm such a big fan of OBJ, and
Hmm.
he's ultra talented. If people out there, our listeners, if they can buy him cheap, please go ahead and do it. So we took David Montgomery here.
Oh,
We have four running
mhm.
backs now, just
We
one
finally
wide
have
receiver.
rookies going too.
Oh, we do. Who
CD
went?
Lamb? What?
Okay. Le'Veon Bell went away. Jack Ertz,
Jerry
Kareem Hunt,
Jerry Judy? What?
Judy was the top pick of round six. Then
Yeah.
AJ Green,
Mhm.
Philip Lindsay, James Conner. Oh, I'm very surprised James Conner went at 6'4". Then Watson, and then CD Lamb, and then Jarvis Landry. I would have considered Landry here, but
Yeah,
he
I
is
would have
gone.
too. Landry's pretty safe. It's not sexy, but like with these running backs, I feel like they can like carry the team for us. So we don't need
Oh,
sexy.
definitely.
Um,
I think we should focus on wide receivers and tight end
yeah.
now. If we don't want, so many running backs that within a couple of years our team is like totally destroyed.
Hmm. I agree. I'm kind of thinking about T.Y. Hilton here.
T.Y. Hilton. I'm not. I mean, this is not redraft, bro. Uh,
So, I mean, he's going to give you 1,000 yards. He's with Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers could get him 1,000 yards.
let's scroll down and see who else can
Yeah,
give us
definitely.
1,000 yards.
Christian Kirk, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Mike Williams, Brandon Cooks. I kind of like Cooks. Will Fuller is interesting. Problem is, Will Fuller will give you about 7 games.
I know.
It's gonna be like the wide receiver one though. And my guy Nikhil Harry, formerly my guy, McCole Hardman's interesting.
Are you thinking of any rookies here? Do you think they are better than these
I don't
people?
know who would
That
be here though. I feel like Jalen Rager would be gone. I feel like Justin Jefferson or T Higgins could be here though, or Henry Ruggs, or Denzel Mims.
we are in the sixth round, right?
Yeah, in the
And
sixth
wide
round.
receivers in the start of sixth round. I think all of them will be there.
I don't think Rager
There,
would be here. I think Rager would go earlier. Like if
so
you're
Lamb or Judy are the only elite ones that everyone is talking about.
no,
Sixth round is still pretty
yeah,
early, man.
I
I don't think.
I think we could go Justin Jefferson here. I'm a big JJ fan. J squared.
Let's do that then. And are you
Mhm.
still not thinking about any quarterbacks?
I saw Murray here. I was waiting for you to mention it. That's a really
Yeah,
tempting price, to be honest. But we do have Kenyon Drake, which doesn't matter the most. I don't care about stacking.
it does. I mean, we also get a stack. I mean,
A
remember
stack.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
he will. Kenyon Drake catches passes too.
Hmm.
So and with Murray and Drake, we'll have all the Cardinals points in our bag.
I
What do you
mean,
think?
yeah, but I'd rather have Justin. I'd rather still wait for Baker
Okay, let's do that then.
because we just need wide receivers desperately. It's just gonna get worse from here. Nikhil Harry went at the end of the sixth. Before him, Evan Ingram 6.9, Kristen Kirk 6.10, T.Y. Hilton 6.11, N'Keal Harry 6.12, 7.1 in there for Swift. He's going to go earlier than that. 7.2 Russell
Mashallah.
Wilson, 7.3 Mike Williams, 7.4 Cook, 7.5 Marquise Hollywood Brown, 7.6 Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Kyler Murray went the pick right before us. So
I
that
hate you.
stings. That stings. But
Man, I wish we had Murray. Anyways, so which other wide receiver are we looking here?
I'm kind of thinking about David Johnson, Terrell Henderson, Darius Geist, to be honest with you.
David Johnson in a dynasty startup in round 7? No thanks.
I, I have big balls, bro. I just wanted to put it out there. You gotta cut me some slack.
No,
Why does
I mean, David Johnson is toast, man, and he's going to Houston. Okay, I think that's a great opportunity, but has not learned the playbook, and I don't think there will be OTAs. I think he's in a very bad situation, and the coach is a fucking idiot. So I think I'm not very excited about Johnson at all. Um,
tight
uh,
end?
pro- yeah, probably tight end. Look at some. We
Noah
have.
Fant, Hunter Henry.
I think Fant will be available in the 8th probably. I think we can. I really like him.
That's what I'm saying. I think we need to grab another back now because it's only gonna get worse. I mean, what wide receiver? I mean, McCole Hardman, one of your guys, Darius Slayton. If you want to go
Mm,
win now, Julian Edelman was gonna give you 1,000
Okay.
yards.
Okay. Have you heard of this rumor that after this year, Steelers is going to cut Juju?
They're not gonna cut him, but they might not re-sign him or trade him.
I mean, yeah, exactly. They are not
Mhm.
going to re-sign him. Of course, his contract is expiring, so they are not cutting him.
Oh,
But
you're
yeah,
thinking about Deontay Johnson
yes, I am.
over your guy McCole Hardman.
Again, Mecole Hardman, I like him, but there have been talks that even Watkins can stay there. They have already signed Robinson again.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
his opportunities have decreased. I was very excited in the off season, but now I have cooled down a bit. And again, he's also a kind of a boom bust kind of guy.
Yeah,
Whereas
he would be a
Deontay
wide
Johnson
receiver 3
could be the
though.
number one in Pittsburgh. He's really good, Deontay Johnson.
Trenton loves him. I mean, fun fact here: Trenton isn't here, but did you know Trenton sent Deontay Johnson for um, friend of the podcast, Buck fans, Miles Sanders.
Wow.
No, he
I mean, I cannot say that's a fan. That's just, oh my God, I cannot do that.
Trenton tried to really bamboozle Buck there, sending him Deontay Johnson for freaking Miles Sanders. If Trenton was here, he'd be saying, just in the spirit of Trenton, we're gonna go Deontay Johnson here.
No, but I like him.
Mhm.
Are we also
Opportunities there.
thinking about, yeah, are we thinking about any rookie wide receivers here? Or maybe even Fant. I would be fine taking
I'd be
Fant
fine
in the
taking
7th
Fant
round.
too. I'm still kind of pushing the running back because I feel like they just fall off a cliff. The
Okay,
fact that we could
I
have
think Guys
5
is
running
great,
backs.
but
Mm-hmm.
can he stay healthy?
They're kind of
Which
freak injuries, though. I've been hearing a little bit about them. They're all really freak injuries.
I would be fine with Guys, but I don't think
I think we have to
a
go deep.
dynasty startup should have David Johnson in the 7th round.
Mhm.
It
Okay,
doesn't make sense to me.
here's what we're gonna do. I think we should go guys, and then
Okay.
watch as Deontay Johnson falls to us.
Definitely. I think he'll be available in the next round. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
So is Geist your highest rated running back, or would you prefer a Henderson, a Sony Michelle?
No, are you are I think you are kidding now, right? You are a
No, I'm
Patriots fan.
serious. I'm serious. If Darius guys can't stay healthy, Sony Michelle's gonna probably get you 900 yards.
I'm not taking Sony Michel in a full
Dude, I feel
PPR.
like Sony Michelle's gonna be this version's Lamar Miller.
I would take Henderson. I would take my chance on Henderson than Sony Michel, man. What if Henderson is the
Would you prefer
answer there?
Henderson to Geis?
No, I like guys more.
Okay, let's just do Geis then.
Yeah,
Deontay Johnson, Deontay Johnson, Deontay Johnson, Deontay Johnson.
he is there.
What a wizard, you know. And not to flex, but I can read the mock draft simulator pretty well. So who did we have go before us?
Robbie Anderson went at 709 and David Johnson at 710. Oh, that's crazy. Will Fuller at 7-11. We have Nicole at 7-12. And then top of the eighth, we have Dak Prescott. Then Paris Campbell. Oh, that's very surprising. Too high for Campbell, I think. And then 8.3, we have Edelman. 8.4, we have Curtis Samuel. 8.5, Waller. 8.6, Dobbins, which is he's going to go in the third. 8.7, Henderson, just before us. Okay, so of
Deontay
course, how,
Johnson.
yeah, I think. What do you think? I mean, I just don't want to
I
take the
think we
pick.
should just cut to the chase. If it was Deontay Johnson, almost until we thought running backs were going to fall off. By the way, which they really didn't. But
Yeah,
it has to. Deontay Johnson, right? I mean,
yeah,
is there any?
he could be the number one. He could. I don't see the path for other wide receivers who are here, like
Mhm.
John Brown, Darius Slayton, Sammy Watkins and Anthony Miller. I don't see them being the number one on their own team. I think Deontay Johnson has a path to be the number one, unless we are talking about a rookie.
Now, I think we go Baker here. I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase here. We actually had hold on, let me read off the picks. I got so excited. We had James White go at the 8.9, Hunter Henry at the 8.10, GD Westbrook at the 8.11, Josh Allen at the 8.12. Started off the 9 round. Cam Akers not going to be there. He'll probably be a third, fourth round startup pick too.
Yeah,
9.2 is that? John Brown 9.3, Raheem Mostert too early. 9.4 Carson Wentz. 9.5 Mark Ingram. 9.6 Henry Ruggs. He'll probably go earlier. And then
yeah.
9.7 can't break a tackle Sony Michelle. So we talked about this round.
Man,
Whew.
Wentz went away like 4 picks before us.
I'm not as big on Wentz. I might actually rather Baker than Wentz. Unpopular, but I was talking about getting Baker late. You were talking about having Noah Fant in the eighth. Well, here we are in the eighth. We have Noah Fant there, but we also have Baker. So
Let's look at the tight ends that we have
I'm kind of
available.
thinking Baker because
Can
yeah, scrolling down here, we have Noah Fant, we have Hawkinson, we have Goddard, we have Irv Smith, who I really like. We have Mike
I don't.
Gesicki, OJ Howard, Tyler Higbee, Ian Thomas, Johnu Smith. We're
No.
big Johnu Smith guys
You
here.
you think either Fant or Hawkinson will be there in our next round? I don't like any other tight end. I mean, they are fine as a
Tight end
you
too.
know yeah, boom bust tight end. But
Mm.
I think I'm only comfortable with Fant and Hawkinson as a dynasty tight end who will be there for us for the next 10 years without any question.
Yeah, but are you
Um,
worth giving up on Baker? Who are we gonna have at a quarterback then? Jimmy
that's what
G,
I'm
Daniel
thinking.
Jones.
Jared Goff, your favorite? No.
We
uh,
could also propose here. I feel like the rookie quarterbacks would be around this range here.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We could look at. I think Burrow is much better. Is a great talent. I think I would prefer Burrow over Baker. Not prefer.
No,
I think they are in the
I'd
same
take
tier.
Baker. Yeah, they're in the same tier. I can't even see Tua. We might have to search him or something. But
Player search there on
yeah,
top
here
of
we go. Let me just make
Tua.
sure.
Can you
Excuse
search?
my chair here, Joe Burrow. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, there is.
Just to make sure we
So
can
maybe
draft
Burrow
him.
in the next round and Fant here.
I'd rather. I think Tua in the next round would be more realistic. Just remember rookie ADP's all messed up here. But yeah, let's go Fant. Let's see. Maybe Baker will still even be there.
You
Yeah,
think
no chance
Burrow
to
will
come.
go in? Yeah, you think Burrow will go before Baker?
I definitely think it's a
Yeah, could be.
possibility. I think Burrow.
Yeah,
I think Burrow could have been gone by now. To be honest, I feel like Tua has more of a chance of sliding just because of the injury. I'd rather. I think we should take Tua here. I think it's more realistic. I think Tua has higher upside as a player too.
I agree. I am a big Tua fan. So,
I love
and
Tua.
he said today that he's
100%.
100%. Yeah, and who knows? In a month when the draft happens, 101 is Tua. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, like if Tua goes to like a team like the Chargers with that many weapons, I think there's definitely a conversation to be had
Yeah.
over Burrow, even though Burrow has a lot of weapons himself. Okay, so we took Tua. Anthony Miller. I do like Anthony Miller and Preston Williams. I'm really digging these wide receivers here.
Let's tell the listeners who went after our Tua pick.
Yep, go
It's
ahead.
Royce Freeman at 10:09, Jordan Howard at 10:10, Tevin Coleman, toast at 10-11. Justice Hill, who is a sleeper, at 10-12. Alshon Jeffrey at 11-1. Then Alexander Madison at 11-2. Damian Williams at third pick of 11th round. Tariq Cohen at 11-4. Matt Breida at 11-5. Lavishka Chenault at 11-6. And 11-7 is James Washington.
Yeah.
So we are looking at a wide receiver. Obviously, here we need the depth, and the players I'm looking at are Miller, Preston Williams, um, JJ Arcega Whiteside,
That's a good
um,
one.
and I think that's it. Those three. I mean, the problem with Miller, I like Miller, but again, I'm looking at the upside here. Preston Williams could be the number one for his team. Same with
Hmm.
Arcega Whiteside. He did not show much last year, but who knows? He can step it up this year.
Yeah, but I feel like Anthony Miller, one, is a little bit of a safer pick.
I
Two,
agree.
I feel like even though he doesn't have the number one wide receiver upside, I feel like we're moving into an era in the NFL where the wide receiver one and the wide receiver two are actually pretty close on target share. It's just kind of the NFL's kind of moving to spread the ball around more.
No,
So,
I agree with you there.
mhm.
But okay, we can remove Jaw here.
Yeah, that's
But what do
fine.
you think about Preston Williams?
I
Like he
love
showed
Preston
very,
Williams as a
yeah,
talent.
he showed a lot of talent last year, and he could. I mean, I really think I would prefer Preston Williams over Miller
Even if he has a rookie
myself.
quarterback, I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick was probably good for him, considering he just slings the ball like a
But
madman.
which rookie quarterback are we looking at for Miami? Both the quarterbacks that we are looking for, I'm a big fan. Burrow and Tua. I mean,
What if one team trades up like the Chargers and then you're stuck with Herbert or like a Jordan Love?
Love is a sling machine too. He'll sling it around the field.
Okay, you want to go Preston Williams? Sure.
I think he has a higher upside
Higher upside too. I was kind of going for
than
the floor pick.
no, but
Mhm.
Williams is a floor pick too. I mean,
Yeah.
he gets a lot of targets. He's very good.
Okay, so we're on the clock here. Tyler
You want to
Higbee.
say
I don't
who
think we're
who
gonna go
went
tight end.
who went after a pick?
Yeah, I always forget that. Dallas Goddard, T.J. Hawkinson, Carlos Hyde, J.J. Arthego Whiteside to close out the 11th. Starting on the 12th, Anthony Miller, Jamison Crowder, O.J. Howard, Corey Davis, Mike Gesicki. Is that Michael Pittman?
Yes.
Yes. And then John Ross. So
Hmm.
low key, low key. I think Emmanuel Sanders could be that veteran guy there that helps because we have so many young wide receivers there that gives us that proven production. I also think Golden Tate kind of does that for us there too. I can't remember his numbers exactly,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling it. I feel like we should get someone a little more proven there to kind of be like the stopgap.
If you want proven, I would rather have Tate than Sanders because Tate again got more looks in that giant offense. He already was in that offense last year, so
Mm-hmm.
he knows the playbook. As I said, this year I am very wary about all those players who are changing their teams because there will be no OTAs. You have to learn a new playbook along with your teammates. That will be very difficult. So blending in the offense again, you have a Michael Thomas who is the number one wide receiver. How many targets are you going to snipe from him?
Yeah, and
I
Golden
don't think
Tate.
Sanders is getting a lot of targets away from Michael Thomas.
Yeah, and Golden Tate, he was suspended for the first 4 games of the season. Missed the game
Hmm.
versus Green Bay, but he had some good games of targeted. 3 games of over 10 targets.
Yeah.
Another 3 games of 8 targets, and a game of 9 targets in there too. So, definitely only like five. What was that? 5, 6 touchdowns. Not the best, but like Golden Tate's always pretty safe there. And I don't think the Giants are going to draft another wide receiver. I feel like they probably go offensive line, maybe a wide receiver at the second at the earliest. But Golden Tate, I
Okay.
think,
I
is
will,
that stop
wait.
gap
Wait a
guy.
second.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring another player here. What do you think about Tyler Higbee here? We only have one tight end,
Mm-hmm.
and Higbee just went bonkers at the end of the
He did indeed
last
go
season.
bonkers. Went Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I mean, look at the targets he was getting. It was like Kelsey, better than him. and he was producing like the tight end one
Yeah,
at
but
in those weeks.
I
And
get it, but no.
McVay has said that we are not looking for a tight end one right here, but he could be uh, a tight end 5, 6 like that. I could see him being a mid-level tight end, tight end around 6 to 8 easily.
Yeah, he definitely went bonkers, but I feel like Brandon Cooks was injured. I feel like Brandon Cooks is gonna be healthy, at least from like what we know. Definitely a big
Mhm.
concussion risk, so that's a big deal because Cooks is 1,000 yard wide receiver.
No, not anymore.
He
And
has been his whole career though. That's my point. He's gonna take a fair amount of targets, and he
they are
was a
going to
thousand
shop
yard
him.
receiver with the Rams too. I mean, if he can come healthy, he could potentially do that again. That's definitely in his range
But
of
there is
outcomes.
a possibility that they will shop him too. They are
Mhm.
in the cap space hell, and who knows, they will shop Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, but here's the more important thing here. The reason why Tyler Higbee got so many targets was because he was playing so many snaps. Why was he playing so many snaps? Because Gerald Everett got hurt.
That's part of the reason. But
Hmm.
even when Gerald Everett, did he come back at the end of the year?
I
I
can't
think he did.
exactly remember. I can pull up the
Yeah,
game log if you want.
yeah. I I think Gerald Everett. I think it's worthwhile to check the log.
Let's
I think
pull it up.
Everett came back in the end, but
He could have
Higby
been
had.
injured though, too.
Yeah, he was, but Higby had
Mhm.
established himself by then, and
Yeah.
McVay
Mhm.
saw what Higby was doing, so he kept getting those targets even after Everett came back.
Yeah. I'd rather go Golden Tate here though.
Yeah,
To
sure.
answer your question though, before we move off, he kind of 25%, 30% up to week 12, and then final 2 weeks of the season he had a 6% snap share and a 2% snap share. So that doesn't seem truly healthy to me. Because even a number two tight end should be playing more than that. You know what I mean?
Even if you're playing like 20% snap share, Higby is there for 80%,
Not
70%.
always. No, not when
But they
they're.
went to,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they were very tight and heavy in the end because they know their offensive line is
Yeah.
shaky, and they
Mm-hmm.
want to have the tight end block or catch, so that the defense doesn't get the look whether they are passing or they are running. So I think they will keep Higby, and he has been extended last year, so he'll be there for the next 2 3 years at least.
Yeah. I still think we go Golden Tate here though, because
Sure.
wide receivers are definitely our biggest weakness, especially because
I
they're
agree.
young too. They're
I just
unproven.
wanted to bring up
Mhm.
Higby and
Higby could be
have a
good. I
productive
could see Higby sliding.
discussion.
So we have Brashad Perriman, go Tyrell Williams, David Njoku, Tony Pollard,
Ooh,
Andy Isabella, Jacob Hollister, kind of shocking, Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Goff, Latavius Murray, Tyler Higbee. 2 picks before us. Damian Harris, who I think is a good running back sleeper.
yeah.
So Irv Smith here. That's kind of why I wanted to wait too. I never even brought up his name, but I think Irv
I like
Smith
him.
has more long term future if you want to double dip there at tight end. Miles Boykin, shout out there to Samuel Wallace, made a sleeper thread about him. Post on Rotoviz after a few days of me trading for him. So that felt good. We also have Kenny Stills here, who interests me a little bit. Could be the number one there.
Could be.
Because he already knows the playbook, right? He was
Yeah,
there.
I
Randall
agree.
Cobb doesn't know it, and then Will Fuller's always hurt.
Kenny
Mm-hmm.
Stills will be there in for us in the 14th round too.
You think
I
he?
feel so.
Okay.
I think we can wait
Mhm.
on Stills.
Okay. Where do you want to go then? Do you want to grab another quarterback? Do you want to grab another tight end?
I want to grab Irv Smith Jr. here. I
Over.
think
Okay.
yeah, he has got a good vacated targets are there. I think he's good. He'll get quite a bit of targets in at Vikings, and we just have one tight end. And I think it was the right time to pull the trigger on Smith. I don't think he's going in the 13th round in an actual draft. I think he's going to go much earlier than that.
No, big value there for us is Chase Edmonds, Duke Johnson, Jamal Williams, Dante Pettis to close out the 13th round. 14th round starts up. Jared Cook, Jalen Samuels, Justin Jackson, the Los Angeles Chargers, Eric Ebron, Hines, Zach Moss, or Ian Thomas, excuse me.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
last name. Kenny Stills is still here though.
yeah, exactly, and rightfully so. I think
Is
he
he the
would be
pick?
there. He could be the pick. What do you think about Renfro?
I see Stills having more upside than Renfro. I see
I agree.
Las Vegas. That's weird to say. draft a wide receiver in the first round. Henry Ruggs could be the best case scenario probably because he'll be the least targeted
Mhm.
of Renfro. Also, his skill set helps him, but you know what I mean. I think it's Kenny Stills, higher upside, and we already
I
kind of have
totally
these
agree.
young guys right here, JJ and DJ, Johnson Johnson.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
Stills has a lot of upside right now.
Yeah, we also have Preston Williams too, so a lot of youth and a lot of age. I think one of the best values here in dynasty drafts are these late round kind of these late round veteran wide receivers because they're going to give you really solid production
Yes.
and they're so
And it
safe at such a
Yeah, exactly, and
mm-hmm.
it leaves you the flexibility of win now versus build later. So down the road, when you are in your 8th or 7th week, and you feel that you have a chance of competing for this year, you keep them and maybe sell your future picks to acquire more older players and go
Yeah,
for the playoff push. And if you see that you are not making the playoffs, you can sell them too to the team that is going for the playoff push.
yeah, I
So
definitely
these
try to
receivers are very helpful.
yeah, let's say this team busts and isn't doing too well, maybe like 2-5,
Hmm.
1-6, maybe even like 3-4, but your team just got like a whole bunch of players just got injured. Won't say names, not to jinx it. Maybe you could bundle a Golden Tate, a Kenny Stills, who might be producing. Maybe you'll
Hmm.
have to throw in a pick, but maybe you could get like a late first or something. You know what I mean? Teams
Yes,
are
yes.
so desperate come that playoff push. There,
Yeah,
if you guaranteed me a playoff, a whole like a league championship, I'd trade you my late first. I give it away for free. You know what I mean? So
I
that's how
sold
teams kind of do it.
Le'Veon Bell last year, because the team was, just on the border of making a playoff, and they thought that adding Le'Veon and his, I mean, you remember Le'Veon had a very good schedule at the end of the year
Yep. Mm-hmm.
last
Yeah.
year, so they thought that if they could get Bell, they could get into the playoffs, and I sold Bell for 2 first rounders.
Ooh, yeah, definitely a steal there.
Yeah, so those things happen, and I don't blame that guy. I would have done the same.
Definitely. Um, so I like Daniel Jones here, but
Exactly. I was thinking about Daniel Jones
Daniel
because
Jones or
we just
Malcolm
have
Brown for me.
Jones. I don't
Jones.
think Malcolm Brown gives you 1 year of production, maybe, and Jones will be there for the next 10 years.
Okay,
And we
definitely.
we just have
Mhm.
Tua. Maybe we cannot even start Tua this year.
Yeah,
He's a
he might be
rookie.
injured too. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
exactly.
grab Daniel Jones here. I'll recap these picks and then we can close that out here. I think we should go. Miles Boykin looks interesting, but maybe we should grab a backup running back here. So we have LaShawn
I
McCoy.
I think we have
Mhm.
5 running backs,
Oh, we
and we
do have
start
five.
only two, and
Well, oh,
we
I could
have
flex. I feel like I normally flex running backs.
yeah, me too, but we have
Mm.
6 wide receivers, some of them which are shaky. Do you think, do you like any of the, what do you call, rookie wide receivers in this kind of round, like the
I don't know
16th
who'd be
round?
here. It's kind of crazy because of how weird like Jalen Rager is not going to be here. Joe Burrow is still here. I don't know who. Maybe like a Brian Edwards would still be here though.
Yeah, he was injured, and maybe
Injured.
that's why he can fall.
I think.
Denzel Mims, no, he's not going to be there
Yeah. No.
in the
Mhm.
16th round.
Miles Boykin is kind of interesting too. I feel like he's more
Why?
realistic. I just feel like he's more realistic than Edwards. That's all. I don't know if
No,
Edwards
but
would be
why are
here.
you fan of Miles Boykin? Like,
Oh, I
why do
don't.
you think he'll be anything,
Because he kind of profiles
startable?
similar to DJ Chark.
Okay.
I guess the only argument there is that the Ravens probably already have a number one in Marquise Hollywood Brown,
Yes.
but is he a number? Yeah, no.
No, he they have two number ones. In fact, the number one is Mark Andrews, and then Hollywood Brown
Mhm.
is the number two. He'll be the number three. They also re-signed Willie Snead. I don't see a path for Boykin to do much, and Ravens are run first team too.
Yeah,
So I just don't see the excitement that some of the people are seeing there.
that kind of interests you in a Kalen Balash. But
No,
if we're getting
please,
serious here, I think Rex Burkhead is actually a pretty interesting sleeper
no.
because Sony Michelle's been kind of bad. I know this isn't sexy, but
Hmm.
a little bit of Patriots bias here. But I feel like it's always that cheapest New England running back that kind of like breaks out. You know what I mean? That year James
Don't you
White
think
broke out. He
they
was the
will give some
cheapest.
opportunity to Damian Harris
I mean,
rather than Burkhead?
definitely could.
and that offense is
Mhm.
going to be not good.
Yeah, I
Like,
definitely see it. Okay, so you want to go Brian Edwards here? I don't know how realistic it'll be, but we can definitely do it.
or we can look at Alan Lazard probably. He's the number
I
two in
think they're
Green
gonna
Bay.
draft somebody though, and they brought in Devin Funches.
Yeah, I agree they are
Mm,
going to draft somebody, but Aaron Rodgers is that kind of egomaniac that he has
mm,
his own receivers who he likes, and he's just going to feed them. And I think he likes Lazard.
yeah, but what about Hayden Hurst here? I know Hayden
That's
Hurst
a
isn't the
good pick.
sexiest guy, but I feel
No,
like
no, I
he's
like
pretty
him.
safe.
I really think so, but we have only 8 bench spots. So
Mm.
that's why having 3 tight ends could be a lot. But for the listeners, I think Hayden Hurst in a 16th round is really good. I think that's the pick
I
for
think it's
me.
the pick too because like
Yeah,
we can flex him. These flex spots count tight ends, and I feel like we have
yeah,
enough wide receivers, even with the injuries, that we could fill in those three spots. So
and
Hayden,
he's going to do well, man. His profile is really good, and he just did not get the chance there in Baltimore.
yeah. So definitely, let's wrap up the draft. There, we actually have one more bench spot,
Hmm.
and we still have Brian Edwards here. We still have Miles Boykin. Do you want to just wrap it up with Brian Edwards? I feel like that was kind of one guy you're interested in here. Who else do we have?
I
Um,
like
Tyler
Ayuk, but
Johnson.
these guys will not be there
Tyler
at that.
Johnson could be there.
Mm,
It's all subjective. Um,
Benjamin, he'll not be there.
Benjamin could be there. Actually, people are
No,
crazy about running backs now.
no.
Kind of unfortunate here
Yeah.
with the ADP screw ups. Do you just want to grab Alan Lazard
What do you
then?
think of Hakeem Butler? No, not
No,
Hakeem Butler. Sorry, I was thinking about Kelvin Harmon actually.
Calvin
Not.
Harmon's interesting, definitely. Steven Sims. Oh, I'd rather have Steven Sims over Calvin
Oh, yes,
Harmon.
yes. Sorry, yes, yes. Let's grab Steven Sims. I think he
Heck yeah.
got around
Hmm.
7 to 8 targets per game for the last 5 6 games,
Yeah.
and he might just get the slot role
Hmm.
there,
So as you can see, we got a D minus. Um,
which we don't care about.
we don't care about it. Don't worry about these draft grades because it's all based off of their own boards. Their rookie ADP's all messed up. We grabbed a lot of rookies, three of them,
Yeah,
I believe. So what do you kind of think about the four of them? Sorry, what do you kind of think about the draft overall, though?
I think we are very very strong on the running back, and a weaker on wide receiver. I think we are fine at quarterback, and at tight end we are really good too.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Do you want to
mhm.
tell the whole team to the listeners
Yeah, let's go
once?
over it one more time here for any podcast listeners. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it right here. So we have two at quarterback: Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Cup, Justin Jefferson, Deontay Johnson starting at wide receiver, Noah Fant starting at tight end. We're flexing their two flex spots here: David Montgomery and Kenyon Drake. Then our bench, I think our bench is kind of deep, mixed with youth and proven talent. We have Darius Geis, Preston Williams, Golden Tate, Irv Smith Jr., Kenny Stills, Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones himself, Hayden Hurst, and then Steven Sims. So a little thin at running back, but the five names we have are pretty well renowned running backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, having these five, solid running backs, I don't think we are thin. Like most of the teams you see, they only have 2 good running backs, and the rest are just dart throws.
Yeah, we have a lot of wide receivers, but I'd say we're more thin at the position because they're not like the best names. You know what I mean?
And for the listeners, I just have to say, with my experience in Dynasty that I have seen till now, is that you win championships only with your running backs. The wide receivers can get you to the playoffs because they are, more, what do you call,
Safe.
week to week, yeah, more safe, and
Mm-hmm.
they will be there for you for longer period of time. But if you want to win a championship, you have to start running backs in your flexes.
Yeah, well, I definitely get the zero RB strategy, but like you need the running back pop off. Like Christian
Yeah,
McCaffrey, even though I lost both my dynasty and regular, even just the redraft leagues with Christian McCaffrey, he popped off so hard some weeks. He'd put up
yeah,
40 points for me like week one. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? It's just so
yeah.
crazy. Those running backs matter. That's why we drafted them early because they're so
all
thin and they matter.
all the
Mhm.
teams that I have seen having, like, winning the championships or getting to the finals have very good running back talent. I have seen some of the teams who have like amazing wide receivers, but they just reach the playoffs and then die in the first, playoff game.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely think the team. I don't think we can't see the other teams obviously, but I don't know if this team would be like the number one team. But
Maybe not.
I definitely see because we are a little bit young, especially at those
Hmm.
wide receiver 2 and 3 spots. But I feel
Yeah.
like it's going to be a perennial contender there too. And since Mixon and especially Taylor are so young, even Montgomery
Yep.
too, like
And
those.
Drake.
And Drake's
Drake is going to smash this year.
yeah, Drake is going to smash it. Drake could be like the reason this team wins. So like if Taylor and Mixon both produce as like RB1s anywhere in the RB1 range, and Drake produces in the RB1 range, you could have 3 RB1s with this
Yeah.
roster while still
And
having Cooper Cup with a pretty safe floor, and
and
having
Drake was the reason I won last year too.
yeah, Drake destroyed me in a league. Let me tell you, him and AJ Brown took me down, and thank God I had Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett combined for 2 points. Not here for that though, but I want to thank everyone here for listening to today's episode. Make sure you subscribe whether you're on YouTube or podcast. I believe only 30% of you listening are subscribed to both platforms. So maybe you just don't know you're subscribed. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, leave us a rating, leave us a like, drop down in the comment what you think about the draft. What would you do differently? What did you like? And Sanat and I are out, guys. Thank you so much. And remember to have a fantastic rest of your day and stay safe and keep your social distance. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. Feel free to leave feedback, subscribe, or check out our previous content. And remember, have a fantastic rest of your day.